What would Nigeria's economy look like today without the influence of Olusegun Obasanjo? That's a question that sparks numerous debates among economists and historians alike. To fully comprehend the impact of Obasanjo on Nigeria's economy, it's crucial to understand the state of affairs before his presidency. Prior to 1976, Nigeria's economy was largely dependent on agriculture. However, the discovery of vast oil reserves in the late 60s led to a shift towards an oil-dependent economy. This sudden wealth, however, was a double-edged sword. It led to economic instability and an alarming increase in corruption, with the wealth being concentrated in the hands of a few. Enter Olusegun Obasanjo, a man of many hats, a soldier, a statesman, and later, a president. His first term as president began in 1976, a time when the country was still grappling with the aftermath of a civil war and a rapidly transforming economy. Obasanjo, however, was not a man to shy away from challenges. He took the reins and began steering the nation towards stability and progress. Fast forward to the turn of the millennium, Obasanjo was once again elected as president, serving from 1999 to 2007. His second term was marked by a strong focus on economic reforms. At a time when the world was rapidly globalizing, Obasanjo recognized the need for Nigeria to keep pace. His policies aimed at diversifying the economy, reducing corruption, and attracting foreign investment. His approach to leadership was not without controversy, but there is no denying that his presidency marked a significant shift in Nigeria's economic trajectory. His efforts to stabilize the economy were instrumental in laying the foundation for the growth that Nigeria experiences today. Obasanjo's presidency marked significant changes in Nigeria's economy. But what exactly were these changes? As we delve deeper into the economic policies and their impact in the following scenes, we will uncover the many layers of Obasanjo's influence on Nigeria's economy. Obasanjo's first term as president was a period of significant economic change. As we delve into this intriguing chapter, we can see how Obasanjo was instrumental in shaping Nigeria's economic landscape. During his tenure, Obasanjo initiated several policies aimed at fostering economic growth and self-sufficiency. One such initiative was the Operation Feed the Nation program, launched in 1976. The aim was simple yet ambitious: to encourage Nigerians to become self-reliant in food production. This was achieved through various means, such as promoting the use of local resources and encouraging small-scale farming. The program also aimed to provide agricultural education to rural communities, thereby equipping them with the skills necessary for sustainable farming practices. The impact of Operation Feed the Nation was considerable. Nigeria saw a significant increase in local food production, particularly in rural areas where the program was most heavily implemented. The country also experienced a decrease in its reliance on imported food products. This not only helped bolster the economy, but also promoted a sense of national pride and self-sufficiency. Simultaneously, Obasanjo introduced the Nigerian Enterprises Promotion Decree. This policy aimed to give Nigerians greater control over their economy by limiting foreign ownership of Nigerian businesses. The decree mandated that a majority of the shares in Nigerian companies had to be owned by Nigerian citizens. Furthermore, it restricted foreign businesses from operating in certain sectors of the economy. The Nigerian Enterprises Promotion Decree had a profound impact on the country's economic landscape. It led to an increase in homegrown businesses and fostered a sense of entrepreneurship among Nigerians. The policy also encouraged foreign investors to partner with local businesses, leading to an influx of capital and knowledge into the country. However, it's essential to note that while the decree had positive effects, it also faced criticism for potentially discouraging foreign investment. Despite the mixed reviews, the impact of these policies on Nigeria's economy cannot be overstated. They marked a crucial turning point, shifting the focus towards self-reliance and local enterprise. Obasanjo's economic policies laid the groundwork for Nigeria's journey towards economic independence and growth. However, the journey was not without its hurdles. Obasanjo's first term ended abruptly with a military coup in 1979. The sudden change in leadership brought about a new set of challenges for the country's economic development. Yet, the economic reforms initiated by Obasanjo during his tenure had set a precedent. They demonstrated the potential of homegrown policies and the importance of economic self-sufficiency. Obasanjo's first term ended with a military coup, but his economic influence did not end there. His policies continued to shape Nigeria's economic trajectory, even beyond his presidency. As we shall see in the next segment, Obasanjo's economic legacy is a testament to his vision for a self-reliant and prosperous Nigeria. After a 20-year hiatus, Obasanjo returned to the presidency in 1999. This marked the beginning of a new era in Nigeria's economic landscape. Obasanjo's second term in office was characterized by a series of bold economic policies aimed at reforming the country's economy. Let's delve into some of these key policies and their subsequent impact on Nigeria. Firstly, Obasanjo spearheaded the establishment of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, also known as the EFCC, in 2003. This body was tasked with the responsibility of investigating financial crimes such as advance fee fraud, known locally as 419, and money laundering. The establishment of EFCC signaled Obasanjo's commitment to tackling corruption and enhancing transparency in Nigeria's financial sector. The EFCC's efforts led to a considerable reduction in financial crimes, which had a positive ripple effect on the country's economy. Investors became more confident in the Nigerian market, leading to an increase in foreign investments. Next, Obasanjo initiated the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, better known as NEDI, in 2004. This initiative aimed to promote transparency and accountability in the management of Nigeria's oil, gas, and mining revenues. It was a strategic move considering Nigeria's economy heavily relies on its oil and gas sector. Through NEDI, Obasanjo hoped to curb the mismanagement of revenue from these industries. The initiative, over the years, has had a profound impact on the country's extractive sector. It has fostered a culture of transparency, ensuring that revenue from these industries is properly accounted for and used for the country's development. Lastly, let's look at the Pension Reform Act, another significant policy of Obasanjo's second term. Prior to this act, Nigeria's pension system was fragmented and ineffective, leaving many retired workers without a secure income. The Pension Reform Act, enacted in 2004, established a unified and sustainable pension system for both public and private sectors. This policy was instrumental in providing financial security for retired workers, thereby improving their standard of living. Additionally, it led to the accumulation of substantial pension funds, which have been invested in various sectors of the economy, aiding in the country's development. These policies implemented by Obasanjo during his second term had a profound impact on Nigeria's economy. The EFCC helped in restoring investor confidence, leading to an influx of foreign investments. The NEIT enhanced transparency and accountability in the management of revenues from the country's key industries. The Pension Reform Act not only provided financial security for retirees, but also contributed to the country's economic development. However, it's important to note that the success of these policies was not without challenges. Issues such as corruption, lack of political will, and inadequate resources often hampered their full implementation. Despite these challenges, these policies marked a significant step towards economic reform in Nigeria. Obasanjo's second term ended in 2007, but his economic legacy continues to shape Nigeria. His administration's policies laid a foundation for economic reform and transparency, elements that are crucial for any country's economic growth. Obasanjo's economic legacy serves as a reminder that strategic policies and strong institutions are key to economic development. His tenure might have ended, but the impact of his policies continues to resonate in Nigeria's economy. Obasanjo's second term ended in 2007, but his economic legacy continues to shape Nigeria. Despite his significant economic contributions, Obasanjo's presidency was not without controversy. Indeed, while Obasanjo made significant strides in revamping Nigeria's economy, his tenure was also marked by some contentious issues that sparked heated debates both within and outside the country. One of the most prominent criticisms of Obasanjo's economic policies revolves around allegations of corruption. Critics argue that despite his firm stance on eradicating corruption, his administration was marred by several high-profile corruption scandals. The allegations ranged from misappropriation of public funds to bribery and kickbacks. While some of these allegations remain unproven, they cast a shadow over Obasanjo's presidency and raised questions about the effectiveness of his anti-corruption policies. Another point of contention is Obasanjo's adoption of a neoliberal economic approach. This approach, which favors free market capitalism, deregulation, and privatization, was seen by some as a necessary step towards modernizing Nigeria's economy. Obasanjo's administration pursued this path with the belief that it would attract foreign investment, boost economic growth, and reduce poverty. However, this neoliberal approach was not without its critics. Some argued that it led to increased inequality and failed to deliver the promised benefits to the majority of Nigerians. Critics pointed to persistent poverty, unemployment, and a widening gap between the rich and the poor as evidence of the shortcomings of Obasanjo's neoliberal policies. They contended that while these policies may have boosted economic indicators on paper, they did not translate into tangible improvements in the lives of ordinary Nigerians. Furthermore, Obasanjo's economic policies were also criticized for their perceived lack of inclusivity. Critics argued that his focus on sectors like oil and gas, while important for the nation's economy, often overlooked other sectors such as agriculture and manufacturing. This, they contended, led to an over-reliance on oil revenues and neglected the potential of other sectors to contribute to economic growth and job creation. Finally, the manner in which Obasanjo implemented some of his economic policies also stirred controversy. For instance, his decision to abruptly cancel fuel subsidies in 2003 led to widespread protests and strikes. Critics argued that such decisions, while perhaps economically sound in theory, were implemented with little regard for their immediate impact on ordinary Nigerians. In conclusion, while Obasanjo's economic policies undoubtedly had a significant impact on Nigeria's economy, they were not without their critics. The allegations of corruption, the debate over his neoliberal economic approach, and the perceived lack of inclusivity in his policies all sparked controversy and criticism. These controversies highlight the complexity of Obasanjo's economic legacy. They also serve as a reminder that economic policymaking, especially in a diverse and complex country like Nigeria, is a delicate balancing act that requires careful consideration of both the immediate and long-term impacts. Obasanjo's presidency left an indelible mark on Nigeria's economy. With these words, we now delve into the economic legacy of Olusegun Obasanjo, the 12th and 14th president of Nigeria, whose influence reverberates through the economic corridors of the country to this day. To truly understand Obasanjo's economic legacy, it's essential we summarize the key points of his economic policies and their impact. Obasanjo's presidency was marked by a strong commitment to economic reform. He initiated the National Economic Empowerment and Development Strategy, NEEDS, and sought to liberalize Nigeria's economy, focusing on sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and services. Under his leadership, Nigeria experienced significant economic growth. The gross domestic product, GDP, grew at an average annual rate of 6%, one of the highest in Africa during his tenure. This can largely be attributed to the diversification of the economy, moving away from an over-reliance on oil and focusing more on other sectors. Obasanjo also made strides in tackling corruption, a perennial problem that had stifled Nigeria's economic growth for decades. Through the establishment of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Obasanjo waged a war against corruption, sending a clear message that economic malfeasance would not be tolerated. However, it's important to remember that no leader is without controversy. While Obasanjo's reign saw economic growth and a decrease in corruption, it was also marked by allegations of financial mismanagement and questions over the effectiveness of his policies. Yet, despite these controversies, Obasanjo's economic policies continue to have a lasting impact on Nigeria. The liberalization of the economy opened doors for foreign investment, which continues to flow into the country today. The diversification efforts initiated under his leadership have made Nigeria's economy more resilient, able to weather the volatile oil market. Furthermore, Obasanjo's commitment to tackling corruption laid down the foundation for a more transparent economic climate. While corruption still remains a challenge, the measures put in place during his presidency have led to increased accountability and transparency in Nigeria's economic affairs. In the grand scheme of things, Obasanjo's economic legacy is a mixed bag. His policies brought about economic growth, reduced corruption, and diversified the economy. Yet they were also marred by allegations of financial mismanagement. Despite these contradictions, one thing is clear: Obasanjo's economic legacy has left an indelible mark on Nigeria's economy, shaping the country's economic trajectory in significant ways. In conclusion, Obasanjo's economic legacy continues to shape Nigeria, proving that his influence extends far beyond his terms in office. His presidency serves as a reminder of the power of economic reform and the importance of strong leadership in navigating the complexities of a nation's economy. It is a legacy that continues to resonate, offering lessons for future leaders and policymakers.